Hello, ladies and gents. Jasper's here. How you doing, bro? You okay? You didn't come to watch me or Jasper. You came for the news, I'm sure. But whenever there's a Jasper cameo, you guys seem to love it. So there you go. You get your daily dose of little Jasper. So we got some updates on Alien. So it's weird, like, no news for so long, and then boom, we get news yesterday and then news today. Side note: if you didn't see yesterday's video, check the link above. But today, last night, quite late last night, I found an interesting snippet of information which pertains to the Alien TV series, which was seemingly released on the back end of the new information from Noah Hawley. So just to quickly recap and bring everyone up to speed, the news a few days ago, from Noah Hawley was with respect to how he was going to be handling the universe. Multiple companies all racing to try and find immortality. It was a very interesting approach to the Alien universe, and seemingly puts the focus back on, once again, to AI and androids and synthetics and things. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but we have had it for some time. And, I say this time and time again, is that the beast isn't done, the beast isn't boring, it's how it's executed. It doesn't have to be a cut and dry remake of Alien. You can do many, many different things with the monster itself, similar to, say, how, a comic book movie handles it. You have the alien, but then set it in like a noir setting, a body horror setting. There's so many different ways you can handle it, as opposed to just resigning yourself to saying, well, the beast is done, therefore we're going to shoot off and start talking about AI instead. So there was that information that was revealed, chasing immortality, those kind of things. And prior to all of that, we had revealed to us that there was going to be two key characters in this series. And now we've learned a little bit more about those two key characters. Now, this is unconfirmed at this point in time. However, this comes from the same source who revealed the original information, which was later corroborated by my friends over at avpgalaxy.net, who I really, really, really do put a lot of faith in. They are very, very good at what they do. They're an aggregator website of all things alien news, and they also have their own sources that confirm these things. I've reached out to some various individuals that I know, sources, etc., and they corroborated it as well. So I've got no reason to doubt this particular piece of news itself, but I have yet to have confirmation from some other individuals. But it comes from the same source, and it just builds on the back end of the other information. So we're going to dive into that now. So here we have it. This is Alien surprising new character details reveal more about Noah Hawley's FX horror, sci-fi franchise series, blah blah blah, etc. So let's take a look, and we'll just recap a little bit about this stuff as well, what was said, just for anyone that wants to have that kind of recap. But just skip forward like a minute or so if you don't want it. But the Alien franchise has been a part of cinema since the very first film appeared in 1979. Since Ridley Scott's Alien hit theatres, the franchise has grown to include 3 sequel films, 2 prequel films, along with novels, comics, video games, and now Alien is moving into the TV series with new Noah Hawley-led FX series. FX Hulu, if I remember rightly. So not much is known about the new series. However, Noah Hawley did speak to Esquire recently, and he said the following: "I've made a certain business out of reinvention," which that was quite concerning. I've already done a video on it. Alien is a fascinating story because it's not just a monster movie, it's about how we're trapped between the primordial past and the artificial intelligence of our future. I do disagree to a certain level, but I also agree to a certain level, where both are trying to kill us. It's set on Earth of the future. Apparently, when this was first revealed, it was stated that this was set on the Earth in the not too distant future. So this is, maybe they're changing that somewhat, I don't know, but it was originally the not too distant future. We also know that this is actually being shot in Thailand, which I think is a great choice, actually, really, really good. So it's set on Earth in the future. At this moment, I describe that as Edison versus Westinghouse versus Tesla. Someone's going to monopolize electricity. We just don't know which one it is. Now, in terms of what that is, it's actually immortality. In the movies, we have this Weyland-Yutani Corporation, which is clearly also developing AI. But what if there are other companies trying to look at immortality in a different way with cyborg enhancements or transhuman downloads? Which of those technologies is going to win? It's ultimately a classic sci-fi question. Does humanity deserve to survive? So that's what's been previously stated. Now, what's the new stuff, right? What's the new stuff? So there was 2 characters, all right? And now here's an update. So the Illuminati have revealed a few details about the 2 characters, Wendy and Hermit. They've continued to do some more digging. Now they've managed to discover even more about these 2 particular characters that not only shines a light on who they are, but also reveals more about one of the immortality ideas that will be explored in the new Alien series. So again, here we go. It looks like Alien is looking to cast a man in between 20 and 30 for the role of J.D. Hermit. J.D. Hermit, known as Hermit, is a human medic for Prodigy Tactical Response. This is a private military group of the Prodigy Corporation. That's very on the nose. I'm not going to lie. That name is really on the nose. I think they could have come up with something a little bit, I don't know. It's very on the nose, and it's more on the nose in a minute, which you'll hear. So I know people are like furiously typing away. Just calm down. You'll see why it's on the nose. Hermit is described as a young man with an anxious temperament, but a good heart. Hermit is struggling to find his way, believing himself to be cursed as he mourns the loss of his family. Hermit was particularly close with his 10-year-old sister, Marcy, who he was told died of cancer. Hermit is driven to help others, but he feels untethered and isolated in his grief. However, in the face of great danger, Hermit proves that people have severely underestimated him and that he in fact has the heart of a hero. So that's all fine. Sure, whatever. It's the Prodigy Corporation part. Now listen to this. Alien is also looking to cast a woman in her mid-20s to mid-30s to play Wendy, Hermit's sister. Wendy is described as tall, athletic and androgynous. Wendy is not a human. Instead, she is a hybrid. Yep. A superhuman who is essentially perfect. However, all is not as it appears with Wendy, and she is in fact, she basically has the mind of Hermit's 10-year-old sister Marcy. She learns how to live and control this new body under the tutelage of synth scientist Kirsch and human scientist Dame Sylvia. Working for who? The Prodigy Company. Creating prodigies. Or Prodigy Corporation. Do you see why that's quite on the nose now? Hopefully those furious messages will be deleted and you'll go, yeah, no, that makes some sense. So listen to this. Wendy eventually becomes a leader to the hybrids and creates the path for a new era of enhanced beings. Wendy, once she reaches full development, will have super strength, speed and agility combined with the limitless courage of a young mind. Wendy is not only a new being, but a tool of monumental value to the world. Interesting. So, Prodigy Corporation, mega on the nose to sit there and call themselves the Prodigy Corporation whilst basically trying to make superhuman replicant human hybrids. Or synthetic human hybrids. I think that's quite on the nose, and I also think it's quite lazy, actually. I don't, I'm sure there'll be some people that think they're super highbrow going, oh, no, it's perfect. It's so, so meta, so self-referential. I don't care. I think that's genuinely quite lazy. It's, they're trying to make prodigies, and they're like, oh, we're the Prodigy Corporation. It's like, come on now. You could have come up with something a little bit better than that. At the very least, the title of Prometheus was interesting. It was the, there was a lot to unpack from that. Prodigy Corporation is just, the Prodigy Corporation making prodigies. Like, come on now, behave. But it is interesting, they call themselves hybrids. I mean, it's not really a hybrid, is it? It's quite literally a synthetic with a human mind. It doesn't, but, the human mind, unless it's got a brain in there, would have been digitized. Therefore, there's only so much that the human mind can be digitized, I'm sure, even in this distant future element. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on this situation. not all necessarily negative, but not all necessarily positive. It's one of those watch this space situations. I do, you know, there'll be a lot of people that will be like, well, Wendy's androgynous. There's no reason to make a synthetic, essentially super soldier, you know, have big tits and a big ass and be super feminine, right? There's just not. So I understand why in universe that would be an androgynous, you know, aesthetic. I understand it, so I don't really take that on board as justified criticism. You know, in terms of like other things to reference, like Alita Battle Angel, she got big tits and big hips when she sort of got her new body, but that was because she had her own mind and was making herself in her own image. This is something which has been, this is a tool. You know, this is something which is manufactured for a purpose. So big tits and big ass, kind of a bit pointless, really. So I understand being androgynous in that sense. But you can still be feminine with it, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how this develops. What do you guys think? I remain very, very down the line on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Hope you're having a great weekend. Give this video a big thumbs up and please do share it, because YouTube's a really shit time in like January and February and all that. So please do hit subscribe and please do share it. But thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care.